Hi, this is LaRon Wright. Um, I'm here to do I guess you could say like a review in regards to my day in so-called court to try to get justice. I'm gonna go through snippets of about 4 or 5 videos that will help me prove my case in point in terms of what I went through in regards to this um, so-called court date or whatever. All right. This is a case against a guy named Jay Rogers and my company, Schumers. This is starting off with the first clip in regards to the celebrity show, The People's Court, Judge Milian. Here it is. First clip.
The Air Jordans and says that the defendant is now sniffing it. But the defendant says the sneakers were bogus, fakes, and he's not paying the scamming plaintiff a penny for the junk. It's the case of they ain't Jordans, no bull.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome.
All right, Mr. Wright, doing business as Schumers, you are suing Mr. Rogers for $5,000 for defamation based on comments that he made online regarding a pair of shoes he bought from you. Tell me what happens here.
Okay. I stopped it there. It's because what happened was at that point, all I was going to do is just go and explain in terms of everything that happened that transpired between the individual Jay Rogers and myself, LaRon Wright. And I'm gonna fast forward it to the point of topic. Okay. This is where it gets interesting. The so-called court date or court, Judge Milian focused on what they call the actual quality of the shoe. I guess Jay had mentioned something about the quality in the shoe, and I said something that has nothing to do with, has nothing to do with the quality of the shoe. And that's when I go into this.
Nothing wrong with it. Check out the quality of that shoe. Has nothing to do with the quality.
What do you mean it has nothing to do with the quality? He's asking me to look at the quality to decide whether or not you're pawning a fake on him. He says these aren't real Air Jordans.
No, it's not.
Quality has nothing to do with whether these are real?
Not really.
Okay.
It only has to do with the material. Yeah.
What do you mean? Tell me about that. Wait. What did you mean by that? It only has to do with the material.
Okay. The first sale doctrine, in regards to original brand material, says this, is that if you buy a shoe, but when it's from the manufacturer, which I don't know if my third party gets it, or whether you get it from the actual brands, if it's any part of the original material of the brands, of the branded shoe, it is not considered a counterfeit or fake shoe. It will not, and
so if you make it out of the same material, then it's a real Jordan?
It's the real Jordan. By the grace of all God. Yes.
So long as it's the same. Okay,
yes.
You're nuts. That's not what it says, okay? What the first sale doctrine says, Mr. Wright, is that if you buy a Nike shoe from Nike and then you want to sell it on eBay, Nike can't sue you for selling Nike shoes. That's what the first sale doctrine says.
Okay, at this point of the session of this review or this video, I'm going to go into the refuting of what Judge Milian said in regards to the first sale doctrine. I've got both written and actual, I guess you could say, visual audio proof or whatever in regards to refuting exactly what she said in regards to what the first sale doctrine said and what she misquoted. The first video focuses on a very powerful YouTuber and colleague and very good friend. I call him a brother of mine in regards to him doing research himself along with, of course, letting me know what the deal was in regards to the first sale doctrine.
Okay, so this video here is for my brother Ron, just doing some talking points on a video, an arbitration that it takes.
Okay, notice that this guy's name, Troy Kelly, they call him Trouble T. Notice that sorry I didn't get to introduce him at first, but he's so much of a brother, I even forget to introduce him. But notice he said arbitration, not court. In which at the time that I did this, I didn't realize that it was not a court date. It was arbitration, which is a little bit different. Different in terms of the rules of law, that I didn't know about. Anyway, that will be going into more in detail later on in the video.
And a customer that he had sold shoes to, they went on the People's Court with Judge Milian. And first and foremost, let me inform that those TV court cases and shows that you see, first and foremost, they are not true legal representatives. A lot of them aren't even real judges nor real attorneys, and it's done for entertainment purposes. So pretty much what I'm saying in essence is it is an arbitration hearing. It is not an actual legal proceeding. And I'm talking about these court shows that you see on TV, but specifically the People's Court in the case of Brother Ron and the customer that went on Judge Milian. So that's the reason why I'm doing this video. It's a little bit of a summary.
Okay, here's a point in the video I want people to notice.
Sent to Judge Milian, and again, with them being considered counterfeit, you can tell that Judge Milian really isn't familiar with this industry or this resale industry or real versus fake. Number one, first and foremost, as I always teach, you cannot consider a shoe real or fake if the brand doesn't do authentication, nor can you have anybody come in and do authentication unless it's the brand themselves.
Okay, that is a very major point in regards to what Troy Kelly said. And I knew that, but when I'm having somebody back it up in regards to what I went through on that court date, and I'm going to have a lawyer talking about that or something about that a little later on. Anyway, moving on. Okay, this is the second overall major point in regards to what the whole topic to me about the court date was about, the first sale doctrine law. Here it is.
Thing is that it's a thing called the first sale doctrine. You can look this up. This is why resellers are able to operate and resell the brand shoes, okay? So the first sale doctrine, and I'm paraphrasing here, and I'm putting it in layman's terms so you understand. What it does is it allows you to sell or resell a shoe as an original shoe from the brand as long as it's made with the same materials the brand uses to make this shoe. It has to be the same materials. Same, whether leather, suede, rubber, synthetic leather, something that they call it is called PU. It's a form of synthetic leather. As long as it's made with the same materials, the same shoe. Now they can't obviously make a different shoe with the same.
Okay, at this point in the court date, or the arbitration date, there's a couple of things I want to go into here. In regards to my presentation, this video is concerned. Like I say, Judge Milian, obviously, like I say, not being as fluent with this industry as she is with, I don't know, celebrity court proceedings, did not know anything about this, or she did and failed to not say anything, but I could say not saying nothing against her. I'm just saying she didn't know. She didn't know, and yes, it can happen. And this celebrity judge, whatever, didn't know, or could not have known, especially, of course, Janaya Rogers. Secondly, in regards to going into the next topic, point and topic, I'm going to have my boy Trouble T explain, what possibly would have happened in a real court date in terms of just this arbitration. And watch, just so you know, another thing I wanted to point out. Judge Mignon never went into this court date was actually about defamation. I can give you the recordings in terms of everything, all of the videos in full. Nothing was never brought to the attention in terms of me, what they call my, I guess you could say my defamation. Nothing was brought to my attention. So I'm finna go into it right now.
Consider that shoe fake. Technically calling the shoe fake if somebody's reselling is defamation if you can't prove it, because the burden of proof is on you. And if you can't prove it, you could be defaming someone's business by hearsay. And again, I'm no legal professional, but I've been in this industry for a very long time. So, with that being said, in regards to this case with Milian, these shoes are not fake. The materials are the correct materials, regardless of anything else. The box, whatever people may say, the laces, regardless of anything else, the shoes are made with the same material. So in an actual court of law, not an arbitration, this would have went different, because they would have likely looked at the materials and make sure the materials match before they allowed something like that to be called a fake or for it to be called a counterfeit. So I just wanted to point that out. And again, I know most consumers are probably not going to be receptive of this, because again, they're not interested in learning about this unless they're looking to get in the business of selling or reselling. So that's my whole spiel. But yes, materials make the difference. Not all the nonsense that you hear, all the hearsay that you hear. And again, if you compare a lot of these shoes now that are being released to like retail quality, it's not very good quality. Like the brands are not putting out very good quality. But yet we're able to nitpick when someone else sells the same thing that the brand is selling, but because someone is a third-party seller or like reselling, that they have a harder hurdle to jump, because again, they're not the brands. But nobody puts the brands through the ringer for putting out a shoe that's maybe not the best quality.
Okay, at this point in the video, we're going to talk to a couple of lawyers. The first lawyer is just going to simply say yes or back up something in regards to a synopsis that I was explaining to her of another buyer in regards to the material usage of what Troy Kelly and I was talking about. But this is an actual real lawyer that I actually, both of the lawyers that I actually paid for in regards to what they call when you do when you pay for one of those consultations. Coming up right now. Here it is. It wants to say, without, even though I have the receipt that I sell them, because I get them, I have to make sure that when I get my products, I always have a receipt that says where they come from. He says that they were fake. So I said, okay, send the shoes back and let me do my research and I'll get back to you. Well, from that point, I take the shoes to the materials place here in Sacramento, because I'm in Sacramento. And the head of the materials person who actually used to work for Nike, just like I used to work for Nike many years ago, has said that these that it is leather, and these shoes are made of leather and synthetic leather, and you have the receipt. I said, yes, I do. So they said, okay. So what I did is I left there and I went home and I called Nike, and when I called Nike, they actually gave me the website in terms of so that I can pull up their material components. And on the Nike and Jordan brand material components, it said that they sell that the materials of their shoes are leather and synthetic leather. So my question is, if I got the receipt and they are the exact same thing, the guy could not give me a legit reason why they were fake. I just wanted to know, I don't think I'm selling fake shoes. I'm not selling counterfeit shoes.
Right. Yeah, I mean, the only way that you can really be 100% sure that you're not selling counterfeit shoes would be to actually contact Nike and ensure that it came from a legitimate distributor.
Now, you heard the lawyer say yes in regards to when I was talking about the materials, and also on another buyer, and now she's going to back up the fact in terms of what they do in an actual real court proceeding. Pretty much the same what I would do and what any what they call reseller sneaker out would do. Knockoff at best. But then when I took them to the materials place, the woman who actually worked for Nike said, no, I don't even think these are knockoffs. I think they're the exact same thing as Nike if you got the receipt. So I just want to make sure I'm selling the right thing.
Typically when you see counterfeit product, it's usually made in a way that is significantly more cheap than the original.
Right.
Because, they're trying to turn a good profit on it.
It even has a different color.
Of even being able to see it in leather at all.
Right.
Is pretty fun.
You should be able to kind of tell, right? Because, like you said, sometimes the color is off. He even told me that the colors and everything and on the shoes is perfect. And I said, okay, so what's the problem? You're not giving me a reason why they're fake. So I think he's just blowing smoke in my butt. I just wanted to make sure that I was, doing the right thing, ma'am. You just gave me the best questions.
Yeah, I mean, you went through the same channels that we go through when we try to identify counterfeit product. You contact somebody that can verify what the item is.
Right.
You have legitimate receipts. You contact distributors.
Right.
Those are all the same channels that we would go through.
Ma'am, that's all I needed to know. So, the lawyer backed up exactly what an actual court would do. So in a legal court of a fair, like I guess you could say, of a fair type of law for both people, for both parties, the defendant and the plaintiff, in which case this was me being the plaintiff and the defendant, who was Jay Rogers. This would have went completely and totally different, because they would have got down to the bottom of what the material usage of the product, or a fashion product, shoes, clothes, whatever it may have been. They would have got down to the bottom of what the hell was going on. But in this arbitration, I guess the arbitrator can be was able to be one-sided, was able to even be biased, was able to be what they used to call partial in that manner towards whatever, probably for the money purposes. I'm suing for $5,000. Janaea Rogers is suing for what? $390, $380. Just so you know how these arbitrations go, and this, that, and other. We all got paid to be on TV. I got paid to be in the hotel, just like Janaea Rogers got paid for whatever was on his end. Nobody lost any money. It was And a lot of people, y'all don't know that. People who look at these court, so-called court, I guess you could say court, which is arbitration proceedings, celebrity arbitration proceedings. They only just look at that. They was just only looking at two idiots going to court. It had nothing to do with anything else. And they paid him for his money that he had supposedly lost. But it was, believe me, the People's Court would have rather have paid $390 than to have paid $5,000 in my behalf. They, believe me, they would have rather did that. So it was fake. It was pretty much a fake, you want to call it that, law proceeding. I just wanted to explain it. Now I'm going to the second lawyer. Not too much of what he said, but there's something significant that he said, and I wanted to go into. Coming up now. Okay, a couple things here. At the end of when I was talking, or at the beginning, I was talking to the lawyer. I mentioned a thing about knockoffs. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you. I'm gonna provide what the definition of what they call a legal knockoff is, online, of course, and what the definition of what the first sale doctrine is in regards to original brand material, in which you can look both of these up on the internet. I mean, because if you don't know, you don't know, and you can look them up, and you will see that I'm telling the truth. I'm not lying about this. I'm finna go into the second lawyer. I'm gonna go into the second lawyer in terms of what the lawyer said. All I'm gonna have him back up is just a couple of things coming up right now. Hi. Okay. Like I said, this is going into the lawyer in regards to two things. Knockoffs. It's coming off of the knockoff type of thing. In other words, this lawyer is pretty much saying that if you buy a shoe from Nike, it is not necessarily a knockoff, which I was kind of focusing on knockoffs being illegal. I mean, I sent a definition. I think I sent before or after the definition of a knockoff, which is a legal copy. But this lawyer is pretty much coming up, is backing up the fact that this is not a knockoff. That if you buy a shoe where you got the receipt from Nike, it's not a knockoff. And in regards to Jay, I tried to explain that to him, but when I tried to get him on the phone, but I guess he didn't want to talk to me on the phone because he was so angry at that point. So this is what this lawyer is going to back up, simply that I paid for, and we're going to leave it alone at that point. I was going to say, man, I'm sorry, I thought the phone hung up, sir, but it didn't. Sorry about that. Yeah, but no, it actually has a receipt from Nike. It actually has a receipt.
So, if you buy a pair of shoes from Nike,
right?
Those aren't knockoffs. Those are Nike shoes.
Exactly. So they're not knockoff because they got the receipt. Yeah. Got you.
Right. So if I bought. It's got to be a legitimate receipt. In other words, if I go to the Nike store and I buy a pair of shoes,
right,
and I get home, I haven't worn them yet,
right,
I don't like the color.
Right.
I go out on the street corner and I sell them. That's not a knockoff.
Right. That makes sense. Okay. Sir, you just answered my question. This is the last part of the video, pretty much. Everything, all the evidence is pretty much good to go. Couple things here. this is no shade to anyone. This is no shade to Janaea Rogers. This is no shade to Judge Milian. I'm just stating the facts in terms of what happened, in terms of what my part was in me selling a so-called fake shoe when reality the shoes was not fake. Most lawyers is not going to get into the knockoff situation because a lot of them do know that it is a legal representation of an actual product. A knockoff is an actual legal, legitimate product. A lot of the lawyers don't know, so they got to go into a law book or something like that. I'm going into the fact of a receipt. What I mean is this, is that I had a receipt in regards to Jay's shoes. Like I say, this is no shade to Jay or the lawyer, anybody. I would have went into this in that so-called arbitration, but the way that I saw it was going, I knew it was a moot issue. Jay is not going to tell you that he got so angry that the fact that he thought he was getting fake shoes, that I tried to talk to him on the phone, and I was going to go into this in regards to Jay. Look, bro, I got a receipt, and I just went on and took an L and told him that I was sending him his money back, and that's when he tried to strong arm me, trying to say, hey, you send me a shoe for half the price, I send you the shoe, another shoe for the other half the price. I'm like, man, I'm a businessman. I do the same thing as, I can't do that. I do the same thing as StockX, Stadium Goods, anybody who is a legitimate sneaker app does. And I was trying to do the right thing. But like I say, it happened, it is what it is, whatever happened, it was what it was, so God bless. So, I just wanted to let people know this is, okay. Yeah, I saw my video got cut off, but I wanted to let everybody know that this is no shade to anybody. I'm sharing the receipts in terms of what I had with Jay, and I had to, shade stuff out for confidentiality purposes of my third party and my customers and myself. But anyway, God bless. I hope you enjoyed or was able to get some, I was able to shed some light in terms of this arbitration that happened to me a little bit in the mid part of November 2021 on the People's Court with Judge Milian. God bless. Anybody have any questions, you can talk to me for whatever information you need. Thank you.